What is going on, everybody? Steve here, Raking Profit. Hope you guys are having a fantastic holiday. I wanted to come on today to do a little bit of live sourcing. Profit. Hope you guys are having a fantastic. There we go. A little bit of a newbie mistake right there. So what's going on? Let's wait for everybody to come on in. We're going to be live right now. Super stoked because we've actually had 426 people join my eBay to Amazon masterclass, which just got released today. So I'm really, really pumped up about that. And for anybody who's been following me and you've heard about my masterclass, it's released. And tonight's the actual last night you can actually get in, early bird, pre-sale special. So the price actually is going to go up by 66% by midnight Pacific. So I can tell you right now that masterclass, for anyone who's gone through it, we might actually have some people in the comments who have gone through it so far, although I'm sure you haven't finished it yet. Let me know in the comments down below if you've gotten the masterclass. Also, let me know if you're doing any eBay to Amazon flips, because today I'm going to be answering questions. I'm going to be sharing my screen, going into about 3 or 4 different flips I found, not even kidding, 2 minutes before I went live. I jumped in, used my strategy, found 3 or 4 items, which I could have bought. Who knows if they're still available now? We'll see. I'm going to share with you the eBay items. I'm going to share with you the Amazon listings. I'm going to go ahead and analyze it with you guys. So feel free to say hello. We got Rita Evans in the house. Kevin Hawthorne, what's going on, my man? Much love to you from Lakeland, Florida. We got Gustavo. What's up, Gustavo? The Flower Girl, Hustle Dimes. Good afternoon to you as well. And we've got Sarah saying, I'm excited. I started already reviewing it. I'm so pumped up for the 426 people who have already joined it. And for anybody who's on the fence, or maybe you're just hearing about it, because I know there's a lot of noise on social media, I'll put a link to that down below. And I can promise you, you're going to get 100 to 1,000x the value what I've charged for it. So go ahead. If you've been following me, if you've been liking the content, get yourself the masterclass, because I promise you the content that I put in that masterclass, first of all, you won't find it online. I still find value in courses and masterclasses if it's all online, since it's all put in one place. But this content's actually not online. A lot of this stuff, I've had to work my butt off over the last year to find all the information, make a million mistakes. And that's how I've grown my business from 5K a month on average at the beginning of the year to now doing consistently over $30,000 a month. Just in September, I put out my numbers on Instagram. If you guys didn't see, I made $9,400 profit from my business. 90% of those items I sourced from eBay to flip on Amazon. And guess what? I didn't source a single one of those items. My virtual assistants did all of it, which is one of the best parts of the business. Spending on average 3 to 5 hours a week. And at this point, I'm just managing the business. My team, they source 800 to 1,000 items a month. I don't even lift a finger to source those items. Yeah, I had to train them like crazy for 3 months, but that's the best part. Everything shows up to my door. We open it all up. My team, they list it in Exceller list. They list all my items. I just label it, ship it out the door, and bada bing, bada boom, the profit is coming soon. And we got Joanne from Canada. And one of the things I love about this model as well, you can do it anywhere in the world. You can be in the UK. I mean, you could literally be in the middle of nowhere, and you can do this model because you can actually utilize prep centers. So let's just say, for example, Joanne's like, I don't want to sell in Canada. Maybe the market's not as big, which I assume it's not as big as Amazon.com. I know it's not. Joanne can actually buy the items from eBay.com, send them all to a prep center. They'll prep it. They'll ship it directly to Amazon FBA, Amazon.com, and you get paid. So that's the cool thing. We have a bunch of students who joined the masterclass from the UK. We've got a bunch from Canada and the UK. We got a couple from Australia. So shout out if you're in the live feed right now from Australia. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do some analyzing of a couple products I found. We'll see if they're still available now. If they are, you guys are welcome to go buy them. We're going to focus mostly on DVDs today. I source a lot of items, from DVDs to CDs to board games, electronics, home items, household items, office supplies, electronics, sometimes sporting items, books. There's so many different items that you can literally source from eBay and then flip on Amazon FBA. The list is absolutely endless. So if anybody has any questions during this video, if you have any questions about the masterclass, if you have any questions about this strategy, I am here to serve you. I am here to help you and answer all the questions. Oh, we got my main man, Romer the Roamer. Great to see you here, Avery. Avery's actually, he came back to the States for his sister's wedding. So hopefully you're having fun. I'm excited to see Avery in Vegas. I'll be speaking over there at the Scout IQ conference. So let's get right into it, okay? We got Swampin Vivo saying, join masterclass from India. It's 3:39 in the morning here. That's fantastic. Yeah, we did have a couple people from India join as well. So I'm really, really excited for you being a part of the class. And let's get right into it. Drop a 1 in the comments, guys and gals, if it's okay if I jump into sharing with you a couple items that I found on eBay right before this live stream. So I can't promise you they're still available, but I found 1, 2, 3, 4 items. The fourth one's a potential deal. But let me know. Give me permission if it's okay if I go ahead and share my screen and share with you these items I found. Today, I'm just focusing on new DVDs. I'd recommend if you're new as a seller, I'd probably focus more on used. I wouldn't scale really quickly with new items as a new seller, but there's just as many used opportunities as new. Awesome. 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 Cool. Cool. Fantastic. Monami Allen says, good to go. Caesar, Mary, what's going on? We got Bill. Bill, I know Bill joined the masterclass. I'm pumped up for you, Bill, to be able to dive into that, man. I know you're going to crush it. We got Toya, if that's how you pronounce it. Chanel, great to see you here. Hustle Dimes, ready for the masterclass. Absolutely. So before we get into it, everybody, if you want to learn how to do this, once I go through this, just check the link in the description. Tonight is the last night to get the masterclass at $97. It goes up to $297. And I'll be real with you guys. My ultimate goal is to build that masterclass into probably a $997 product eventually, right? Because I just want to make it bigger and better and more valuable. That's probably a 1-year play, but it's slowly going to increase over time as I add more value, okay? Which is only fair. If you add more value, you get paid more. So I can tell you right now, if you invest in $97, that's literally worth thousands to the right person. I actually taught somebody how to do this last month. Big shout out to my buddy Dan. I posted on Instagram. He was doing $2,500 last month. He's on pace to do $20,000 this month with about 20% profit margins after I taught him the strategy. He bought 500 items already in a month. So I'm telling you, to someone out there who's like myself or like Dan and you're ready to make this happen, there's big opportunities. So I'm going to get right into it right now. Let me share my screen. All right. Let me know if you can see my screen right now. Let me refresh my phone to make sure if I can see the screen as well. Perfect. Okay, so you should be able to see ebay.com right now. And I'm going to go through this step by step. I'm going to share with you exactly how to analyze an item on eBay. Today we're talking DVDs. We're talking new DVDs. In another video, we can do used. We can do CDs. We can do electronics. We can do books. I mean, I could go on and on. I'm not even kidding. I could go down 600 billion rabbit holes in the next 1 million years right now trying to find items on eBay if I lived forever. There's that many items. And guess what? I think eBay is almost like a video game. eBay to Amazon flips. It's a video. You know how in a video game, if you die or like if you lose, you can just start over again? It's the same thing with this business model. If you can't find anything on eBay, which is impossible, it just means you don't have the strategies, which I teach in the masterclass, to literally find hundreds, if not thousands of items a month if you have the capital. If you don't do a good job today, guess what? The game starts over tomorrow on eBay. There's hundreds of thousands of new items being listed on eBay every single day. And guess what? You don't have to leave the house. You can source them all from home. You can use a credit card, which I don't believe in going into debt, but you can use a credit card, gain points, cashback portals. I mean, I love this stuff. So I'm going to get right into it right now. Okay. So bear with me, guys. I spent literally 3 minutes analyzing these items before the live stream. So here is a DVD that's for sale. It's Twin Peaks, the complete first season special edition from the seller Deals from Heaven. This is 1988. And in the masterclass, I teach how to become tax exempt, which isn't very difficult. That's something you could find for free online. But if you're going to buy items on eBay, you want to become tax exempt. Okay. So I'm going to pay $19.88 for this item. Let's go over to Amazon and see what it's selling for. And this is available right now. Well, it was. Let me refresh the page. Is it still available? Oh, it's still available. First off, let's check the condition. Let's see how this thing looks. Looks really nice. Looks really fresh. Is that sealed? Yes, that's sealed. Perfect. Always want to check the condition before you buy. Brand new, factory sealed, stored in a free climate storage. See images for more pics. Person has great feedback. Cool. Let's go over to the Amazon listing. Is this the same listing? Let's look. Let's look. Special edition, special edition. Yes, it is. And check this out right now on Amazon. The buy box is at $47.99. Okay. I recommend if you're going to use this strategy, and again, not to keep mentioning the masterclass, but there's a lot to know about this strategy. So, if I'm moving quick, just get the masterclass. But in the class, we discuss Seller Amp. Okay. This is a Chrome extension that I use, which essentially aggregates all of the information and puts it in one place. Okay. So let's go ahead and break this down. So what are we going to pay for this item? $19.88. So I'm going to put that in here. Looks like it's selling about 5 times per month, 78,000 ranking DVDs, which is really solid. The buy box is $47.99. And remember, when it comes to selling on Amazon, over 80% of sales are going to come through the buy box. What is the buy box? That is the buy it now button right here. Okay. So you can see where I live. This is where I'm from. I'm in South Windsor, Connecticut. It'll be shipped to me. There's one left, $47.99. If I click buy it now, right now, it's going to purchase it for $47.99. And what most people don't realize is you can actually go in and look for cheaper offers. But guess what? 80% of sales on Amazon come through the buy box. People don't look for the cheaper offer. They just click buy it now. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at the competition. I'm going to scroll down on Seller Amp. You can see that the merchants are starting at 31, and you can see the lowest FBA offer is $47.99. Now you might be thinking, well, why is the buy box $47.99 if the lowest offer is $31.98? Because Amazon knows that customers are the most happy when they buy through the Prime program. When you sell as an Amazon FBA seller, you're selling through the Prime program, which means Amazon stores your inventory and ships it to the customers in 1 to 2 days, hassle-free returns, and customers think they're ordering from Amazon, which they are, but they don't realize that people like you and I are the ones supplying the inventory. This is why the eBay to Amazon method is so freaking amazing, because they think they're buying from Amazon, which means they pay a premium. You can get more money. And when you sell as an FBA seller, look at this. The merchants are nearly 50% less, but the buy box is coming in at $47.99. Now, I can't promise that this item is going to sell for $47.99 until what I'm going to do now, which is I'm going to analyze the Keepa chart. So I want to take a look and see what this item has been selling for over the last year. So I'm going to click the last year. I'm going to look at the buy box. Oh, and this is very interesting. So you see that pink line? It means that this item's selling anywhere between $30 upwards to $55 over the last year. So this is one of those items where you're really going to want to time it. And if you scroll down a little more, you can actually see that the offer count is remaining pretty even right here. You can see that there was 9, 9, 8, 7. So the offer count is pretty solid right now. The buy box right now is coming in at $47. So I'm really confident that I would be able to get this item sold for $47.99. Jay Walter, no, this is not drop shipping whatsoever. We are buying physical items. Okay. So anybody right now, if you want to buy this item, you can buy this for $19.88. It's still available and it's selling for $47.99. So let's run some numbers and see how much money we're going to make. Okay. And this is what I love about Seller Amp. $19.89. We're going to sell it for $47.99. $14.54 profit, 73% ROI, baby. Put a 1 in the comment if you wouldn't mind making if you wouldn't mind making 73% ROI. Is this guaranteed to sell in a day? Absolutely not. But with 5 sales a month and with very little FBA competition, there's only really one competitor right here at $47.99. So if you just match the buy box price, you're going to get that buy box rotation and you're going to sell that item. I'd predict this would take maybe about a month or so to sell, being at a 78,000 rank right here. Hustle Dimes is saying 1. Very, very cool. Okay, so I'd buy one of these. I typically don't buy more than a single quantity. What we normally do in our business is we buy a bunch of items. When they sell, we replenish them. And now we have a replens list of over 3,500 items. And that's the secret, guys. I'm going to tell you guys the secret right now. And this is what we really go deep into in the masterclass. The key to this business model is building a leads list and then building a massive replens list. This essentially would be a lead. We would purchase it. It would be on our leads list. Once it sells, we have data to back up how long it's going to take to sell, how much profit we made, and then we know how much to go back and buy it for on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or Mercari, okay? So this is the magic with this model. The longer you do this, the more you build up your leads list, which then transforms into your replens list, and now you've got an upper hand on the competition, okay? So this is definitely an item that I would pick up. And, anybody's welcome to, anyone's welcome to come pick this up and buy this item. So if anyone has any questions about this DVD, let me know, because I got a couple more that I want to go through. Carmen Franco is asking, hello, Steve, where can I find the best seller rating chart? Well, if you get Seller Amp, which it's $17 a month, you don't need it. You can see it right there, or you can actually go down. You can just type in rank, and you can find it all the way down here at the bottom, the bestseller rank. This is 80,000 in movies, which is the category you'd want to know about. Yep, Keepa is definitely a must. You don't need Keepa. You don't need Seller Amp, but it's going to give you a gigantic advantage. And when it comes to buying items, you need to understand what the history of that item has been doing. Like, for example, I could go back over the last 4,200 days and I can see what the buy box has been doing. I mean, look at this. This thing was up in 2019. You see the pink right here? Back in 2019, look at this. This item was up at, look at that. It's up at $65, the buy box. So you need to use Keepa to understand the history of the buy box and the history of the number of sellers, the history of the sales velocity. And this stuff's really, really easy to understand. Yeah, it's kind of like, you've never ridden a bike and you're watching someone ride a bike and you're thinking that's impossible. But once you figure it out, you fall down a couple times, you learn it. And this is way easier than selling on eBay. You're probably laughing like, there's no way Amazon's way easier than eBay. I promise you, I've done both. I actually did eBay for a lot longer. Selling on Amazon is literally 100 times easier to selling on eBay. The thing is, it's 100 times harder the first month because it's so different and you're trained to, you're trained to be an eBay seller. But once you finally get over that month or two hurdle, Amazon's a million times easier because you don't have to take pictures. You don't have to create item specifics and descriptions. All the listings are already created. I could ship out 300 items in, an hour or two. It's super easy. I mean, imagine doing 300 items on eBay. It would take you, a week. What about AMZ Scout? I don't use AMZ Scout, but I think it's pretty similar to Seller Amp. So guys, I need you to smash that like button, and I want you to put a 1 in the comment if it's okay for me to move on to the second item. If you don't have any more questions about Twin Peaks, then let me know and I'll move on. I want to share with you guys quite a few items that I came across. And really, the secret sauce when it comes to actually finding these items, because you're probably wondering, well, how did you find this item? That's the secret sauce, right? That is what I discuss in the masterclass. And I have probably about 6 or 7 main strategies that I utilize, but that's the secret sauce. So definitely check that out and, keep asking questions. All right, I'm going to move on to the next item. So this is a little bit of a more expensive item. And when it comes to my eBay to Amazon FBA business, we sell anywhere from 800 to 1,000 items a month. We're sourcing around 800 to 1,000 items a month as well. Our average buy cost over the last 60 days has been a little less than $13. And our average selling price is $39 to $40. It varies. It's somewhere in between there. We do buy some items that are 40, 50, 60, 70 bucks, and we sell them for 100, 120, 130. This is a DVD that's a little bit more expensive. I wouldn't recommend buying items over, 20, 30 bucks when you're first getting started. But let's go ahead and break this down. Swap Nil Vivo is asking how much probably will it cost to ship to FBA, so we can calculate that into the net profit. So that's actually going to be broken down already inside of SellerAmp. But to ship out a single DVD, it's probably about 30 to 35 cents. If you're using a prep center, you can add another $1.50 or $2 to the mix. And I'll cover that in a second when we break this one down. But you can see this DVD right here is $59.89. If you're sales tax exempt, if you're using a credit card and cash back, you'll save a couple bucks. But let's just say this is $60. Let's take a look at the condition. Looks like it's in really good shape. I don't see any issues. I see it 100% wrapped and sealed. Looks like the seller's name is Urka4097. They got about 1,100 reviews, 99.6. The description says brand new, factory sealed. Okay, so that's perfect. And let's make sure this is the same listing. Yes, it is. Look at it. $109.99 right now on Amazon. There's about 5 sales per month on this. So I'm going to throw in that. And let's see what the actual buy box is looking like on this item. So yeah, look at that. The buy box is typically ranging between $100 upwards to about $120. You can see it dropped down for a little bit, down to 70. It's probably just some dum-dum who came in and priced it really low. I would just ignore that pricer. If we take a look over here, it looks like a year ago, actually in November, it had jumped up to about 150, then came down to 125. I would say this is a $120 item all day long. Let's take a look back even further. Holy crap, that thing, yeah. This thing might spike. Take a look. For the last couple of years, there's been some spikes. So this could spike up to 100, 140 bucks, 150 possibly, during Q4. So I'm thinking I could probably sell this for 120. So if we take a look at the number of sellers, so it looks like there's one seller right here who has 4 for 109. Then it jumps to 127.99. So in that situation, I'd probably price it at 109.99 since they have 4. If we buy it for 20, we'll make $22 profit, 37% ROI. I would probably, what I would most likely do, and this is a really good tip I'll share with you guys, is I would send them a message. So you go to contact seller and say, hey, I'm really interested in your DVD. Would you be open to accepting an offer of $50? If so, I can pay immediately. If not, no worries. Just figured I would ask. So that was a great way. That's a great tip to be able to negotiate. Another thing you could do is you go look this up on Facebook Marketplace. You can look it up on Mercari. You can look it up on eBay under ending soonest. And sometimes you'll find them for 35 bucks auction. Put in a bid, snipe it last second, get it for 35 or 40 bucks. I mean, imagine this. Let's say that we got it for 45 bucks, did a little negotiation. Now look, now we're up to about a 83% ROI, $37.46 profit. This isn't a super fast seller. And to be 100% transparent, I like to focus on DVDs that typically have 3 to 7 sales or more per month. I really like to be around, 6 or 7 plus per month. This is probably a little bit slower of a seller, but moving into Q4, and with there only being really one main competitor, because the other one's priced a little higher. Oh, wow, look at this, though. This is going to be a good tip, guys. So this is a really big, important tip I want to share with you guys. And since I was analyzing this quick, I didn't realize Amazon is on the listing. I want you guys to drop a comment down below because this will save you a lot of money. Let's pretend that you were going to buy this item and Amazon was on the listing. What's the one thing that you'd want to do on Keepa before you purchase the item? Now, I dive a lot deeper into this, in my masterclass and whatnot, but I want to give it away right now because I don't want anybody to be hurt by this. What's the one thing you want to make sure of if Amazon is on the listing? I'm going to wait a second and take a little drink of my tea. Ooh, I'm yawning. It's been a long day. But I'm having fun because we're sourcing, baby. Angela's saying my notification that you were having a live stream just came up and you've been on for 20 minutes. YouTube is slacking. Come on, YouTube, show some love. So Tony says, run. No, you don't have to run, but I would usually run. But there's something you need to do on Keepa, and I'm going to break this down, because if you don't do this, and if you're going to thrift stores, garage sales, auctions, and you're buying especially new items, because Amazon's usually on the listing with new, not used for the most part, what do you have to do? Carmen says don't compete. You don't always have to avoid them. Most of the time you will want to avoid them. Yep. AC/DC monkeys want to show you some love. Let's find out if they're sharing the buy box. So you guys know 80% plus of the sales are coming through the buy box. But put a 1 in the comments if you'd like for me to share with you how to know who's getting the buy box and if Amazon will actually share the buy box, because that's the reason why you don't want to typically jump on a listing competing with Amazon, because Amazon hogs up the buy box. They don't share the buy box. Let me show you guys how to actually see who's winning the buy box. So what you're going to do is scroll down to the Keepa chart. Okay. Now you can get Keepa by simply just going to keepa.com. And I believe you might need a paid subscription to do this. I'm not sure. You see where it says data right here? You guys see that where it says data? Let's click data. All right. So this is going to give you a whole bunch of information. The average sales rank over 30, 60, 90 days. You can see it's pretty consistent. You can see the number of reviews, sellers, all that. But what you actually want to do is go right here where it says buy box statistics. Let me know if you guys see buy box statistics. Give me a smiley face in the comments if you see where it says buy box statistics. Now, what you're going to want to do is click that. Okay. And guess what? It's going to share with you who is winning the buy box. Check out this, guys. I'm going to click 90 days and look at this. A couple people said if Amazon's on the listing, run. You'd be making a massive mistake, because look at this right now. This seller, 2 thumbs up, is actually getting about 89% of the sales. Amazon's only getting the buy box 2% of the time. Can you believe that? Amazon is only getting the buy box 2% of the time. So before you purchase an item, look to see if Amazon's on the listing. If they are on the listing, then what you're going to want to do is go to data, buy box statistics, and see who's winning the buy box. Now, I highly doubt that this seller's stealing the buy box because they're something special. I just have a feeling that 2 thumbs up is getting the buy box 89% of the time, because they probably have a lot of inventory in stock, and they're probably one of the only ones in stock. And you can see they have 4 left. So they've probably been in stock for a while. So that's an absolute game changer right there. Kevin says, make sure it's not restricted by intellectual property violations. So this actually isn't, because, well, I'll share with you a couple reasons why. Number one, I use a software called IP Alert. And if there were any notifications about that, I would have been notified. Kevin, great tip though. And secondly, what I like to do is I like to see if the brand is on the listing. Now, I don't see the actual brand on the listing. If you scroll down, I just see Amazon. You could click into the seller and see if they have any other products. See, they're selling a bunch of DVDs. So this isn't the brand. So we're safe. I don't see the brand on. You can also scroll down to avoid IP complaints by taking a look at the number of the sellers. So you can see that it's pretty consistent, 12, 11, 10, 15. If you saw it drop from like 16 or 17 down to 1, and then it climbed back up and then went down to 1, those are what is known as IP sweeps. Okay. So there's also a really good opportunity here with this DVD used, because look at the buy box is coming in at $96.95 for the buy box. So you can see there's about 5 to 6 sales per month. So I want to know in the comments right now, let's just say you could buy this item for $45 and flip it for $109. You'd almost double your money and make 83% ROI. I want to know, would you buy this or would you pass on this item? Let me know in the comments. This certainly isn't an item for everybody. I mean, if you're on a budget, I'd stick to buying $6, $7, $8, $9 DVDs, books, board games. Well, you're not going to get a board game that cheap. But yeah, Angela is saying buy. Yeah, this is definitely a good flip. It's not a really fast seller. It's got a 94,000 rank, 5 sales per month. Amazon is on the listing. They're not taking the buy box, but this seller is stealing the buy box a lot, and they're probably getting, somewhat of preferential treatment. So, you might sit on this for a month or two. So it's definitely, I wouldn't want to build my inventory around buys like this, but it's not bad at all. We got NC Treasure Hunter in the house. I actually saw somebody who purchased my masterclass today, and their name was NC something. Was that you, NC Treasure Hunter? Let me know. And I want to know in the comments right now, who has joined my masterclass? Let me know. Put a thumbs up in the comments if you joined my masterclass. I'm curious. I know we've got a couple of people in here who already have joined it. And if you have joined it, check your email, check your spam in case you missed it, because it's been released. I released 4 hours of content today. And then on the 24th, we have another 2 hours of live training. And I'm going to have a couple more live training sessions for all my students. We had 426 people join so far. And the pre-sale early bird is ending tonight. So if you think this is valuable right now, just wait until you get into the master class. I love that name, the master class. All right. Locked and Lost, much love. Carmen, Blue Loon Lady, Tony. So we got a lot of people in the master class. So I want you guys to let me know, is it okay to move on to the next DVD? If you have any questions, drop a question below, or else let me know if it's okay to move on to the next DVD. And again, these aren't the best deals, because I'm not even kidding. I spent 2 to 3 minutes doing my method. I found these deals. I threw them up on my screen, and I came and I shared them with you. If I spent 30 minutes, I would have found some really killer scores. But these are pretty solid. So I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay. So this was a pretty good one right here. Let me see if it's still available. So you saw it was available when I was sourcing it. Let's see if it's available still if I refresh it. Ooh, it's still available. Awesome. So this item is called Prime Evil. It's $8 plus $3.49 shipping. So it comes to $11.49. And to be honest, I didn't even go and look at see if I could source it cheaper. I just found the first one that seemed like a good deal. The item's in pretty good condition. You can see that it's sealed. Doesn't look like there's any issues. It's always good to zoom in, make sure everything's sealed. This is why I got glasses now, guys, because I'm squinting at the screen all the time, trying to see if there's any damages. You can tell that this seller is probably somewhat new because they have a really poor title, which means they're probably not ranking very well, which is probably why this is sitting for a long time. They only have 178 feedback, so you'd really want to be a bit more critical of the pictures. Ships in a bubble mailer. Well, hope the post office doesn't stampede all over it. All right, so this is $11.50, okay? Now, before I move on, I'm going to answer a question. NC says, was it me, but I plan to? Well, awesome, NC. I wasn't trying to pressure you, man. Sorry to put you on the spot. But I saw the name NC, and I was like, oh, man, maybe it's NC Treasure Hunter. So, yeah, I would love to have you a part of it, and I've got a link in the description if you're interested. Joanne says, bye. Awesome, awesome. Swap says, the biggest question and task for me, doing all this remotely. Yeah, so again, if you want to send me a message behind the scenes, Swap Nil Vivo, you could DM me on, you know what, you could just send me an email at rakeandprofit@gmail.com, and I could send you a list of 200 prep centers you could use, and I'll also update the YouTube description. Let me write down a note so I can update. I'm trying to find a pen. I'll have to just remember. I don't have a pen around me, but I'll put an update of 200 prep centers that you could reach out to, and you have to contact them. I don't use a prep center, so I'm not an expert. I'm being 100% real. I have everything come to me because I like to, I don't know, I'm just a bit more conservative. I like to inspect. All my friends think I'm a moron. They're like, just use a prep center. But I'm like, listen, I love reselling. I like touching and feeling the product. I like giving my DVDs back massages before I send them out, caress them, clean. Sorry, it's been a long day, guys. But yeah, I'll send that over to you. You making my life. Thanks, Steve. Really appreciate it, of course. Locked and Lost, do you prefer Be Cool or reprice it? I prefer Be Cool because they have the AI repricer where I can set a minimum and maximum price, and then it reprices based on an algorithm for me, and I could set up a bunch of automations. So that's why I like Be Cool. And for anyone interested in Be Cool, if you go to rakeandprofit.com/BeCool, If you go through my affiliate link, it will extend your free trial from 14 days to 30 days, and you don't have to put a credit card in. So definitely check that out. And anyone who has any questions about that, you can send me a DM, and I've actually got a video that's coming out soon about Be Cool. So, all right, this is $11.50 on Amazon right now. Check this out. You can see the buy box is $35, but do you notice anything a little off about the buy box? Can somebody tell me what you notice about the buy box right here? Let me know. Joanne says, I'm joining after this. Awesome, Joanne. And in the program, Joanne, I share the 200 prep centers as well, even though I will give it away for free. I'm not trying to hold that hostage. You know, I want to help you guys regardless. You don't need to join the program. So I'm just being real. You can probably figure this stuff out on your own, but it took me a year to figure it out. So maybe you're smarter than me. Most likely you are. Maybe it'll only take you 3 to 6 months to figure out. But I figured it out. So if you want my help, I got you. Gustavo, man, we got some smart people in here. Yes. So Gustavo is correct. So what I noticed here is the buy box is actually going to a merchant seller. So there's a couple. If you guys don't know what a merchant seller is, that's like an eBay seller. They sell from their house. It takes them 3, 5, 7 days to ship, most likely. Customer service isn't as good as Amazon. It's not through the Prime program. So Amazon sellers don't really like to buy through merchants. They still will, but they don't really like to, and conversions really go down. So if the buy box is being given to a merchant, there's one of two reasons. Number one, there's no FBA offers, or number two, and most likely the FBA offer is so high that Amazon's like, you know what, we're not going to give FBA the buy box. It's priced ridiculously. And a lot of times in situations like this, there'll even be a suppressed buy box. So let's actually do some research and see what the reason is, okay? So you can see there's 8 sales a month, 51,000 rank, which is fantastic. This is below the 1% mark of top BSR in DVDs, no IP issues. So let's see what's going on here. Look at this. Was I right or was I right? So FBA is actually coming in at $44. They're giving the buy box to the second seller in line at $38.99, probably because the price is right. Normally you'd see FBA getting the buy box here, but a lot of times it's because maybe Amazon was on the listing recently and they came off, and a lot of times they don't really like to encourage price hikes after that. I don't know. I don't know if this is a newer or older movie or not. We're going to find out through research. But what this is telling me is I'd probably want to undercut this $44 seller because they do have good feedback, which is interesting. They're not getting the buy box. So I probably want to price it maybe around $40 or so, maybe 42. And if you have a repricer like Be Cool, it'll play around with the price and it'll do everything it can to win the buy box. When I set up Be Cool a couple months ago, I made a video about this. I had like $10,000 in extra sales that came through because of it. And it shares with you which sales came through because of the repricer. Now I have a lot of inventory. So if you're new, don't expect to, make that much money off of it. But I was manually repricing for a while, so it made a big difference. Let's go down to Keepa and see what's going on with the history of this. This is why you need Keepa, because this you'll be able to see the current market and what's going on. But now I want to see what's really happening in Keepa. So over the last 3 months, you can see the buy box. Holy crap. What the heck happened with this thing? Look at this buy box from September 18th to the 23rd. It dropped from 30 down to like $12. Is Amazon on the listing? Let me open this up for a year period. Yeah, Joanne, you're right. So look at this. Amazon hasn't been on the listing since they came off in 2019. So they're not an issue. And you can see the orange. You see where Amazon was? They're not an issue. Let's pull this back over the last year. So this buy box is all over the place. See, something like this is, I like to call it, right, with my slang, a little bit sketchy, because that buy box is all over the place. Now, I don't really care about the last year. I'm more concerned with the last 3 months. And it looks like it was pretty consistent from July 15th or so up until about July, August. For 3 months, it was consistent. Then it dropped down, and now it's bouncing all around, and now it's back up. So I think it sold out. Yeah, it definitely did sell out. This almost makes me wonder, are there like IP complaints or something? I'm not getting any notifications. Are there any crazy drops in sellers? No. The seller count has gone down a little, but there's no crazy drop. So I'm not really concerned with that. Is the brand on the listing? Who is this? Hypermarket, Trendy Farm. I don't think this is the brand because the brand would most likely be FBA. So I'm not concerned with any IP issues. This would be an item that, well, let's see how much money we would make. So this is $11.50, and I would probably sell it for $40 right now. So if this sells, that's 152% ROI. But the only reason I wouldn't buy a bunch of them is it is selling pretty well. There's 8 sales a month, 51,000 rank, but I don't like this buy box jumping all over the place. It's a little sketchy to me. And then if you take a look over the last year, you see how it's just kind of going up and down. I'm pretty sure I could get at least $35, but the market right now is at 40. You might be able to get that offer. And if you get in and out quick, add that to your replens list and then keep an eye out for it. Another thing you can do is you can actually copy this Prime Evil DVD. Let's throw that into eBay. Let's go to lowest first. Let's go region 1. So it's United States. Let's scroll down to new and let's go lowest first and see if we can see any others. Actually, let's click US only because I don't want to see any from any other countries. And no, I don't see any. These are all different DVDs. So it looks like that's the only one on the market. So, I mean, that's definitely an item that I would pick up. I would buy that if it's still available. It is. Actually, probably should buy that. If it's still available at the end of this, I am going to buy that. Worst comes to worst. I mean, that thing, there's no way that thing, if you wait that out, that's going to definitely sell for 30 at some point. That's still a 78% ROI. If I switch to Be Cool, do I need to manually set a lowest for every book? It seems like a lot of work. So this is why I recommend getting a virtual assistant. But yes, you would have to go in. If you're not already setting a minimum maximum price, you would have to go in there and do that. Luckily, I had a virtual assistant and they're all trained up. So it was easy for me. But you could actually, with Be Cool, you can use the bulk edit feature. And you could bulk edit all your listings and have it priced at the minimum buy box. But I don't normally like to do that. I like to manually price my minimum and maximum prices. Archie says, reselling business seems like a big headache come tax season. Do you have someone deal with all that for you? Yeah, it used to be a really big headache for me back in the day, Archie, when I wasn't doing my books. So now, I spend quite a bit of money every single month because, I have a real estate business and social media and e-commerce and eBay and Amazon and digital products and courses, and it just goes on and on and on. So I've built a really good team of 2 bookkeepers. I have a really talented CPA. One of my bookkeepers helps me with all different types of spreadsheets and stuff. So yeah, I'm not going to lie, in the beginning, it is easy if you're not doing much, but once you scale your business, if you don't get your books in line, which I'd recommend QuickBooks, and if you use Inventory Lab, that'll really keep things nice and clean for you. It is a pain in the butt if you don't have a good team. I wouldn't recommend doing it yourself. Again, back to the whole notion, you're probably a lot smarter than me, but I've never been really that smart with that stuff. So I like to focus on what I'm good at. And if you're wondering why I'm looking this way, I have just so you guys know, I have my phone. So I've got the comments up on my phone as well. Hustle Dime says, Steve, question, the $37, is it Facebook to Amazon or Facebook to eBay? Oh, you're asking about my bump order. That's Facebook to Amazon FBA. A lot of people ask me, can you source items from Facebook Marketplace and sell it on eBay? Can you source on eBay and flip it back on eBay? You can, but the problem is you're not going to get that big profit margin because the only reason why this method works isn't because I'm so smart, right? Yes, I have figured out a lot of stuff over the last year, but the real magic is people pay more money on Amazon because of brand and mostly because of the Prime program. There's a lot of people who will pay a lot more. You know how people are, right? For me, like, I'll tell you how much of an idiot I am. Literally, I just ordered Uber Eats. I could have drove 7 minutes down the road and picked up my chicken and brown rice, for $24.99, but I paid $38 because I was launching the masterclass today. I wanted to focus on, making this video and doing customer. At the end of the day, it was worth it. It's been a long day, but I paid 50% more for convenience, and people will pay a lot more money on Amazon for convenience. They trust Amazon. They trust the Prime program. Amazon lost money for years and years and years taking care of customers, and now customers love them. They trust them. And there's customers who can buy it. They know they could buy the same DVD on eBay for 40% less, but they still buy it on eBay, right? Why? Convenience, trust, brand. That's what makes the world go around. I'll tell you right now, it's all brand, it's all perception. So it is what it is. And that's why I'm teaching all of us to, take advantage of that market inefficiency. Hey, what's going on, Baith? Appreciate the $10 super chat. Greetings. I have registered for the masterclass. When does it release? And do you need insurance for this business? And if so, how does that work? So first off, Baith, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, if not, I apologize. Thank you so much for taking advantage of the pre-sale early bird special. The program's already been released. I just released it about an hour ago. So check your email. If you don't see it in your email or your spam, send me an email over at rakeandprofit@gmail.com. Let me put that in the chat for everybody in case you joined, rakeandprofit@gmail.com. Okay. And you know how it is. Sometimes I sent out emails to all 426 people. There were already 20 people that came back and it bounced. So I'm like, oh man, how am I going to get a hold of all these people? So if you can't get in, email me at rakeandprofit@gmail.com and we will make sure you get in. You could also go to, if you already purchased, you can go to the link down below, rakeandprofit.com/E2A masterclass. And in the top right-hand corner, let me just show you, rakeandprofit.com/E2A masterclass. Oh man, I'm dropping things. You could come over to this page and click member login right here. And then there's my developer's information, but you could go in here and if you already signed up, you're going to have to create an account. Okay. So you're gonna have to put in your email, your password, confirm your password, create your account. Make sure you use the email that is associated with your purchase. Because if you use an email that's not associated, then essentially what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to get access. Okay. It's going to say restricted. All right. So make sure that you do that. If you're already a member, you can just click login here. Okay. So this is an interesting DVD, guys. I would buy this. I would definitely test it out. Let me take a drink. Oh, and about your question, I'm so sorry. Do you need insurance? So you're not going to need insurance until you start doing over $10,000 a month. Once you hit $10,000 a month in sales, Amazon's going to send you a nice little letter saying, hey, you hit $10,000 a month in sales. Congratulations. In order to continue selling on Amazon within the next 90 days, you're going to have to prove that you have general liability insurance. Now, don't freak out. It's only about $50 a month. And by the time you're doing 10K a month, you definitely want to have this insurance anyways, because, especially in America, it's the land of lawsuits. So general liability will cover your business and your assets and different things. It's about $50 a month. If you need an insurance provider, send me a message. I can share the one I use, or I can put you in contact with some other resources. All right. So you don't need it until you start doing $10,000 a month. I have one that works with Amazon sellers. So you just sign up, takes about a day. You give them your Amazon account information. You get everything set up. You send the policy to Amazon, and bada bing, bada boom, the profits are coming soon. All right, let's move on to the next DVD. This is actually the last DVD that I have, and the last one we're going to go through. I actually just pulled up a DVD that looked interesting, but I wasn't entirely sure. Let's see if it's still available for sale if I refresh it. All right, so this is actually a DVD from my main man, Tom Hanks. It is called Mazes and Monsters, okay? This is brand new, factory sealed. Now, I focus a lot on brand new DVDs. If you are a newer seller, you don't have a lot of sales history on your account, I'd recommend starting with more used items. The reason is when you're a newer seller, Amazon's kind of looking at your account, they're looking at your metrics, and some new sellers sometimes get called out by Amazon to prove authenticity or prove that they are buying from a trustworthy supplier, and eBay isn't really considered one. So that is one of the risks of this method. But again, I've only really seen like less than 1% of the people ever get banned or suspended or have to prove invoices and get kicked off. It is a possibility, and at scale, it's more of a risk. So that's why I just say in the beginning, keep going thrifting, sell books, sell all different types of items, focus more on used. You can still sell new. I just wouldn't sell a ton of them, for the first like couple months or so, especially maybe 6 months. Just take it easy. Don't scale this business super duper fast in the beginning. That's one thing I don't recommend. But again, I've met people who have scaled from 0 to 20K in 2 months and they're fine. And then a year later, their account's perfectly fine. So I think a lot of it's just Russian roulette. Hey, thank you so much for that $10 super chat. I appreciate you. Much love, much love. Hope that helped. So this is $8. All right. Let's go on Amazon and take a look what's going on. So it looks like on Amazon right now, this is $15.27. But again, you notice this is not prime. This is a merchant seller. Looks like it's got an 81,000 rank, 6 sales per month. Let's take a look at the sellers. So FBA is coming in at 21.57, then 23. This person's not getting the buy box at 21.57. That is very, very interesting, considering that the prices are so close. Okay. So since this is $15.27 plus shipping, it comes to $19.26. Let's take a look at the buy box. Oh yeah, this thing's selling for $20 all day long. Let's take a look at the last year. Bit of a suppressed buy box from around February to June, which is interesting. So I don't think Amazon's a huge believer in this listing. For some reason, they do not want to give FBA the buy box, but there's a little bit of buy box lately. So maybe I would try to sell this for around $20. This is what, $8 to 20. This is probably not going to be that great of a deal. $8 to 20. I mean, it's still a 50% ROI, but it's only a $4 profit. I personally don't like dealing with items with that low of a profit. Typically, I'm looking for at least a $7 profit or so. So really, what I'm looking for is I want to see a nice, strong buy box. I want to see FBA getting the buy box. I don't really want to see the merchant getting a buy box when FBA is so close. That's a bit discouraging to me. And again, one of the things I really like to do is go into data under Keepa. Then what I'm going to do is wait for that to load and take a look at the current and averages over 30, 60, 90 days. So I can see the rank is actually, it's actually going up quite a tiny bit since 180 days, from 52K to 82. So it's definitely due for a sale. Over the last 180 days, there's been 54 sales. So this item is moving. You can see over the last 180 days, the new third-party FBA is averaging around 20 to 22. So we might be able to get $22 for this. If we can get 22, I mean, now, look at this. Now we're up to a 71% ROI, $5.68. Not bad at all. Tony's asking, what's a good BSR for DVDs? I like to stick below 100,000 rank. Really, my sweet spot's around like 30 to 80,000 rank when it comes to DVDs. Big tip, guys, and I wouldn't build your whole inventory doing this, but sometimes those DVDs that are 140,000, 160,000 rank, they could take 3, 4, 5 months to sell. And you obviously don't want to get to the point where you're getting hit with long-term storage fees. But I've picked up quite a few DVDs, guys, in the past for $9 and sold them for $50 or $60. They took 3, 4 months, but there's a lot of money in DVDs, okay? Used DVDs, new DVDs. I love selling CDs. I love selling books. There's a lot of book opportunities. I like board games, electronics, from calculators to routers to, I mean, I could sit here all day long. I haven't even mentioned, I don't really dabble in this, but I have a friend who does over 50K a month. And it's not my buddy Seth. He does a lot of electronics and office supplies. But I have another one of my buddies who does a lot of supplements. He does a lot of health and beauty. I mean, the opportunities are huge. Make sure though, if you go into supplements, health and beauty, things like that, that you understand how to use, how to prevent IP complaints and counterfeits and different things like that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this training. I want to open up the floor for a little bit of Q&A. So if anybody has any questions, let me know. If you guys have joined the masterclass, let me know in the comments. It has been released. If you go to rakeandprofit.com/E2A masterclass, let me put that up right now. Join the masterclass today before price increases at midnight. All right, I'm just going to put up a little thing on the screen, rakeandprofit.com/E2A masterclass. Perfect. I'm going to post that up. All right, cool. So yeah, the masterclass is $97 right now. It's over 4 hours of content. Plus I'm going to give you, I'm saying we're, but I'm just thinking like we're all family. On the 24th, we're going to do another live 2-hour training. And then over the next following couple months, we're going to do some more trainings as well to keep everybody on track, to share new things I've learned, and really make sure everybody gets results. Hey, Hustle Dimes, much love to you as well. I appreciate that. Anybody who has questions, feel free to ask away. I'm here to serve you, help you guys to start doing this. And anybody can do it. You know, I sent out an email, was it last night? Yeah, last night, sharing a screenshot from my buddy Dan, who I've been teaching him. He's one of my coaching clients. He's worked with me for about a month, and he did $2,500 in sales last month, thrifting and doing different things. And this month, he's on track. I know, you know, we're only 1/3 into the, we're only 1/3 into the month, but he's already done 10K and he's on pace, about 10K. He's on pace to do, excuse me, not 10K. He's on pace to do 20K. So what's 20K divided by 3? So that's, I think he's done 6 or 7 so far this month. I apologize. He's on pace to do 20K. He's bought 500 items since I coached him. That's going to be the same information that's literally in the masterclass. Okay. The only difference is it's not one-on-one, and you don't obviously have as much accountability as, you know, one-on-one coaching and group coaching and things like that. But it's much less expensive, but will definitely get you the same result if you work hard. Sebastian, what's happening, brother? What format is the masterclass? Is it downloadable? So the masterclass is actually held in a masterclass. The masterclass is held in a membership website. So it's not downloadable, just to, you know, prevent piracy, which, you know, is a big thing on the internet. I'm sure if someone really wanted to screen record it and snag it, they could, but that's the reason why we don't just let people download it. But you have lifetime access to it. It's over 4 hours. It's pre-recorded, but then the second half of the training is going to be live. Okay. So that's going to be a lot of Q&A. We're going to go into some deeper training, really connect the dots. And then there's going to be some support the next couple months as well, doing some more live sessions with the students who have joined the master class. Okay. So yeah, lifetime access. There's no rush. You don't have to, I tell a lot of my students this, there's no rush. I mean, for everyone who joined a master class, take it slow, keep thrifting, keep doing your current model of books or DVDs from garage sales or Facebook pickups, whatever you're doing. But then what you're going to want to do is slowly add in eBay to Amazon flips. Buy 1 item this week, and then the next week buy 2 or 3, and then the next week buy 5 or 6. And then within 6 to 12 months, depending on how much capital you have and your goals, obviously, people don't have to take it to where I've gone, over 30K, or like my buddy Seth, who's doing 55K, or my buddy Josiah, who's doing over 100K. I'm a part of a small little mastermind group, and we all help each other. We're all doing the eBay to Amazon flips. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity here, and we're all doing different items, which is cool. How is what you're doing not considered drop shipping? So that's a great question, Stephen. So drop shipping, you're not even buying the product originally. You're essentially, let me put it this way. You're listing an item on another platform, and then when it sells, you're buying it and then shipping it to the customer on a different platform. We're actually buying the item. We're actually physically receiving it, right? Either yourself or your prep center. And then you're actually listing it on your account available for sale and shipping it directly. So you're not like sending an item in an eBay box to an Amazon customer. It's actually coming to you. You're prepping it properly. You're taking ownership, and then you're selling it. So that's the biggest difference between drop shipping and eBay to Amazon flips. It's the same thing with thrift stores. eBay to Amazon flips is no different than thrifting, garage sales, liquidation. It's all the same thing because we're taking ownership of that item. The big difference between this and thrifting is you can do it from home. You don't have to leave the house. I mean, I've literally put on like 20 pounds this year. That's the downside. I'm getting chubby because I'm freaking sitting on a computer all day long. Well, not too much anymore because my VA team is, but yeah, I got to get my butt working again and lose this kangaroo pouch, as I like to call it. But yeah, you could do it from home. You could have virtual assistants run your business for you. So yeah, it's a big difference. Tired Dad says, working 12 to 16 hour days. Do you have anything for those who don't have time for I'm not sure what, for the class? Well, I mean, you're going to have to learn it one way or another. I mean, this is probably the most automatable. I'm trying to like make up a word. This is probably one of the most easiest businesses to automate over 6 to 12 months. But it's not going to become, because this is semi-passive to me, right? I'm not going to sit here and say this is passive income because I don't believe in passive income unless it's like my real estate properties or my digital products, things like that. Or YouTube is passive in a sense once you create the products or the videos. This is a lot of upfront work, but it's a lot less work than thrifting. And you have to go thrifting when the doors are open. eBay's open all day long. So I don't know what to say, Tired Dad. Like, there's no business out there where you're not going to have to put a shit ton, excuse my language, of work into it in the beginning. And I'm not saying you're not willing to work, but everything takes time. At least me, right? Again, I don't know of anything that doesn't take a ton of time to learn and master and put systems in place. What is a good source for virtual assistants? I recommend using onlinejobs.ph. So if you go to rakeandprofit.com/VA, VA for virtual assistant, that'll redirect you over there. And that's where I hire all my virtual assistants. Right now, I have 4 virtual assistants in my eBay to Amazon business. I have 2 virtual assistants who source anywhere from 40 to 60 hours per week. They buy 800 to 1,000 items for me. And the cost for them is about $800 a month for both of them. So it's like $400 a month each. Then I have 2 more, one that helps with repricing and another one who helps with stranded inventory. And the repricing one, she's amazing. She does a great job repricing and also helps me to list items as well. We have a whole system where we receive items, send pictures over to our team, and then they price everything for us on our behalf, which saves a lot of time having to list. Lord is asking, great question. Is it safe to sell new DVDs and books if it wasn't bought from the distributor? I would not sell books new. I have sold a lot of books new. I haven't really mentioned this too much publicly, and I probably won't go into too much depth because I don't want to get anybody in trouble and have people doing crazy things. Feel free to DM me in the past. I've sold a lot of books as new, but I've never sold textbooks as new. So what I'd like to say here is textbooks are really highly counterfeited, and there's a lot of measures in place on Amazon and even lawyers that will go after you selling textbooks as new. So I wouldn't do that. For books outside of textbooks, you can get away with selling them new if you have a seasoned account, but there are some ethical questions there in terms of what's actually new, right? A lot of people will sell books that are pristine as new, but is it really new? So I'll leave the ethics up to you guys, and you can figure that out for yourself. But I was talking to a person the other day who they were going to thrift stores and they were selling all the books as new, and their account was only 4 months old. They were scaling up to selling, I don't know how many, but it sounds like they were doing thousands of books per month as new. They got suspended because Amazon wanted them to prove that the books were new. So with books, I would stay away from selling anything new in terms of a book until your account is a bit more seasoned. 6 to 12 months, you do a lot of volume. I haven't really heard of too many people getting in trouble with items outside of books selling as new. If you have an aged account, if you have a seasoned account, but there is always a chance that Amazon could want you to prove authenticity or prove chain of custody. So, I've sold, well over 20,000 items in the last probably 3 or 4 years. And I've never had, Amazon ask me to prove, authenticity, or I've never had Amazon, shut my account down or suspend my account. Maybe that's just good luck on my part. I know it's happened to people, but I've talked to thousands of sellers and it's far less than 1%. So, I was actually talking to a guy the other day who was actually a drop shipper today, actually. We had met at my buddy Rico's drop shipping mastermind a couple of years back. And I was asking him, hey, you still drop shipping? He's like, no, I wanted to get out of drop shipping. It was so risky, da, 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 da. And he's like, are people scared of selling on Amazon? Do people still get suspended and kicked off? And I said, to be honest, man, people still get suspended and kicked off. Anyone who tells you there's no risk selling on Amazon, anybody who tells you, oh, it's perfectly fine and there's no issues, run for the hills, because they're full of it. Every Amazon seller I know logs into their account every day and checks their inventory health, and they keep their fingers crossed, right? I've been doing it for years. I've never had any issues. And everyone I talk to, they're scared of Amazon because Amazon's very strict. So I'm not going to sit here and blow rainbows up here. What? There's risks involved. But for me, it's all about mitigating risk. That's why I use IP Alert. I use Keepa. I don't use prep centers because I like to inspect items. Again, I have a whole variety of friends who use prep centers and have accounts that have been safe for 7, 8, 9 years. So don't listen to all the horror stories online. It's like the news, right? If you watch the news every single day, you're never going to leave the house because you think you're going to get, what. But they're just taking the small little needle in the haystack and projecting it on the whole world. And then they make you not want to drive. They make you not want to go anywhere in public. And, obviously there's a chance that something could go wrong in the real world, but it's a very small percentage if you're safe. And I believe it's similar with Amazon. But hey, you could be at the wrong place, wrong time, and crazy things happen in the world and crazy things happen on Amazon. So hopefully that makes sense. And sorry for the long-winded response. I just wanted to be perfectly clear with that. Hey, Joanne Jocks, I appreciate that. What is the cost to outsource to a prep center? So for smaller items, it's like $1 to $2 per item. So, I mean, most of the items that my team sources are 60, 70, 80, 90% ROI. Plus, there's a cost for me to have to receive it. And, I pay someone as well to help unbox items and do things at my house. So it's not that much more, like $1, $2 extra. Probably like $1 extra for DVDs and stuff for a prep center. So it's really not that expensive. Carlos, I don't go really deep into prep centers because I don't like to teach things that I don't personally do. I don't use a prep center myself. I do have a bit of knowledge about prep centers because I have quite a few friends who use them. Matter of fact, all of my friends pretty much use them. Maybe I'm just, a scaredy cat or whatnot, or maybe I don't know. For me, I like to touch the products. I like to see them, but I do share a little bit of information about prep centers. I share a list of 200 prep centers that you can use, but I don't go very deep into it, again, because I don't like to speak on things that I don't personally experience. So everything I talk about here today, everything in the masterclass, it's based on experience. It's based on me going from 5 to now for the last couple of months, I've been maintaining 30,000 a month in sales. Now I'm going to hit 40K by the end of the year. So everything I talk about is based on experience and results. I do not Google things and take other people's content and then tell you this is how it is without sharing a disclaimer saying I don't do it. So I gave a little information, but again, I'm not a huge expert with prep centers. So I could definitely guide you in the right direction. And, it's not that difficult based on what I've heard to build a relationship with a prep center. What if you're gated with DVDs? Is there a way around it? Yes. Tony, if you send me a DM behind the scenes or just email me at rakeandprofit@gmail.com or Instagram, whatever, I'll send you a step-by-step guide to get ungated. And I'll actually put that in the, I'm like looking for a pin, hoping that I'm just going to find a pin on my desk somewhere so I could write some notes. I'm going to put the 200 prep centers in the link in the description. And I'll also put the DVD ungating guide for free. These are free resources I'm going to give you guys in the description. Keep asking questions, guys. Example, rare Dragon Box complete collection, brand new. Yeah, there's a lot of DVDs. I'm not sure what your question is, Gustavo. I'm sorry, brother. Joji says, Carlos, it depends on a prep center, but if you ship to a prep center, which is in a sales tax free state, most of the savings will go towards paying for the cost to prep and ship the item to Amazon. That's true. I teach in the masterclass how to get ungated, how to get tax exempt. So you can go to rakeandprofit.com/tax. That'll redirect you to how to become tax exempt. I'll just tell you right now. So you could become tax exempt regardless. But yeah, Joji, that's a great tip. Use the prep center, especially if you're buying on eBay or anywhere in a sales tax free, to save that money, and it'll essentially pay for itself. Raken, what's been the biggest challenge from your transition mainly to OA? Man, I already know that answer right off the bat, Joji, Davenport. 100% managing cash flow. When I was thrifting, hitting library sales, garage sales, dude, my freaking ROIs were like through the roof, 300, 400, 500%, buying items for $3, selling them for 50, 60 bucks all day long. So I used to just take all the profits out of my business because I didn't have to spend that much money on inventory. But when I transitioned into the online arbitrage business, eBay to Amazon, Joji, I started dealing with cash flow issues because I didn't realize that I had to have my items sell fast enough to have the inventory turnover so I could bring the cash back, reinvest it, and then pay myself a little if I desired. I actually decided not to pay myself for a while. I've just started paying myself because the more you take out of your business, the slower you scale. But yeah, the biggest thing was learning about how many monthly sales an item should have, learning about the buy box, really going deep into seller amp, making sure that I don't buy too many of a specific ASIN, right? So I keep a very low stock count. And there was a lot that went into managing cash flow, but that was definitely the biggest challenge. But it's been a great skill that I've learned now. Do you have any tips, Georgia is asking, for determining authenticity of new items purchased from eBay? So there's a lot of different items that are faked on eBay. I'm mostly selling DVDs. That's my main product. I do sell, in a couple other categories that I mentioned, but I'll just say with DVDs, as an example, any weird color grade discoloration. Sometimes the DVD will just look off, maybe off-centered. The material might just be kind of flimsy. There's a lot of different ways to tell if it's fake, but a lot of times it's discolored. With new DVDs, it's actually really hard to tell. There's more ways to tell if the item's used, but those are a couple examples. So I highly recommend just doing a quick Google search for whatever it is you're looking to sell in the beginning, especially the category, supplements or health and beauty, and see what the difference between real and fake is. Archie, so there's quite a few different softwares out there. I have a little secret source that I use that I talk about in the masterclass. I would say the second best one is probably eFlip, which a lot of people are moving to what I'm using now. Then I would say tactical arbitrage, and then manually resourcing or just building a replens list. For me, personally, right now, most of the books and textbooks and different things I buy to flip are off of my replens list. No, I source used and new CDs and DVDs from eBay to Amazon, Sierra. What do you do if I open a new seller account today and start sourcing DVDs? What to avoid? So first off, you're going to have to get ungated for DVDs. So you can check my profile in maybe like 20 minutes. I'll update it so you can get ungated. I would stick to used DVDs if you're new. I'd stick to DVDs under 80,000 if you're new. What to avoid? I would not buy from eBay sellers who are selling multiple quantities. I would not buy from eBay sellers who are selling DVDs under 10,000 rank. I'd stay away from newer DVDs when Amazon's on the listing, or DVDs or CDs that, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Multiple quantities. Also, eBay sellers who have low feedback rating or low percentage rating. The complete series, I already mentioned that. And I would just stay away from anything that's too new, too current, Amazon's on the listing or Amazon's not on the listing, but they've got like 10 for sale. You could buy, for $10 and they're selling for 90 on Amazon. Like that's 100% a scam. Stay away from that. If it sounds too good to be true, just stay away all day long. I use Archie. I use onlinejobs.ph to find my virtual assistants. Yes, NC, I sell CDs, used and new. I'm checking eBay, and if I find a DVD over 10,000, would you take it? No, because it's probably a scam. Would it be good to get an LLC prior to starting reselling, or should I wait? You don't need an LLC. You can just sell as a sole proprietor, and down the road, you can always switch over your account. Just make sure to contact Amazon first and let them know. Bill says, is it worth getting a cashback credit card when you're first starting off, or would you wait to get the business more established? I mean, I would get a really good cashback credit card. I like the Capital One Spark, 2% cash back. I also like the Chase Unlimited. That's really good. And if you're wanting to have 60 days interest free with some really good terms where you only have to pay off 10% over a 60-day period to keep it running, you can use the American Express Plum. Also, the American Express Gold has some really good points and various incentives. I think some of your VAs hit me up. Had someone make lowball offers on me, told me my prices was too high for them to resell. My VAs are trained not to do that. If they did do that, I would have to, because that's super disrespectful to say to an eBay seller. I'm joking, but I'd bring the hammer down on them. Hit me up, Angela, behind the scenes, and let me know. Don't say the store name live just in case it is me, but hit me up behind the scenes, and I'm curious if it was my team, because if it is, I'm about to freak out. Because that's super disrespectful to say to an eBay seller. Joji says, I definitely ran into some cash flow issues as well. I implemented the profit first process. Dude, were you the one in the comments telling me to read that book again? I responded and I was like, I got to read that book again, because I responded and I was like, man, I think it's time for me I'm going on a trip soon. And I think that's what I'm going to read on my flight to Vegas, is read Profit First again. Carlos, Amazon pays every 2 weeks. What would a good e-score be for DVDs? Probably 30. I like to stick with at least 30, 5 sales per month or so. Have you tried doing OA with used books? Yes, I have. Bear with me 1 second, guys. Let me get that updated again. Okay, cool. So yeah, I teach how to do that in the masterclass. And I actually had one of my friends come on and teach his strategy, because he's buying a ton of books, and he's using a little bit different of a strategy than I use. That's more helpful. So you'll definitely want to check that out. We have a 50-minute, almost a 1-hour segment talking about in the masterclass how to source textbooks using a special software, replens list. Also, he shares how to get ungated in McGraw-Hill. And he shares a really cool spreadsheet for everybody that we give away that pretty much tracks everything in your business, which was really, really cool. So big shout out to Alex. Victor Chang, have you ever got hit with an inauthentic claim? Were you able to get this removed without an invoice? So this is a really good question. So I've been selling on Amazon for 8 years. Never got an inauthentic claim. I got one 2 weeks ago, but guess what? I didn't get one. I didn't get two. I got hit with 3 inauthentic claims in 1 day. I did some research. It looks like I was being attacked by a seller. Who knows? Maybe it was somebody in the YouTube comments. That's why I don't put my store name out and stuff. One, because I don't want everybody copying what I'm doing, which I guess if you really wanted to find me, you probably could. So I'm not instigating people to go out and blast my name out there, right? I try to respect everyone, and I appreciate the respect too. But number two, there's just some bad apples out there who either your competitors or people on social media who just want to see you fail and essentially not be able to put food on your table. I don't get it. But yeah, I discovered that it was an attack on me. There was nothing I could really do, unfortunately, but I appealed all 3 of them, and they didn't even ask for invoices or anything. And they all got removed instantly. So my account's as clean as a whistle. It's perfectly clean right now. I did get a negative feedback the other day, but it got removed instantly because it was a product-based review, which is great. So yeah, my account is perfect. It's 264 inventory score, no IP complaints, no counterfeit claims, no customer complaints. It's all zeros. I actually show it in the masterclass. So yeah, I've had them. I've had an IP complaint before too, because of my own fault. I've learned how to avoid them, but a lot of times, I don't know if it's because my accountant is older, but I have friends of mine who, do 2 to 3 times as much as me. And they have 10, 12, 15 IP complaints, 7, 8, 9 counterfeit claims, and their account's still in the green, still good to go. So I'm not saying to go out and get them, but I do think people exaggerate a lot in terms of like, oh, one and you're gone. I do think if you're a newer seller, though, let me rephrase that. I do think if you're a newer seller, if you don't have a lot of sales volume, if you've only been selling for 2 weeks and you get hit with an inauthentic claim or you get hit with an IP, yeah, I think you might be able to get banned or get suspended. So be careful, scale slow. I tell everybody in the masterclass often, this isn't a race. Let's not try to make as much money as possible in 30 days and get kicked off. Let's take it nice and slow like I did. I did 5,000 a month, and I did 8, and then I did 11, and then I 15, and then 20, and then 25, and then 30. Like I slowly built it up. And I'm not talking out of my what. You guys can track my whole journey. You can see my sales. I post them. So I'm not just telling you what to do because, it sounds good on social media. That's what I did. And now I'm happy. I did $9,400 in profit last month. Nothing to brag. I'm proud of myself, but it's nothing, it's people making more money, but I'm super proud of myself. And I think the average person, if they could do half of that, they would be, ecstatic. Do you pay your VAs by the hour, or do you need to commit them for weeks or months? A lot of them will try to get you to commit. I've never been a big fan of salary. I like to pay people for what they do, for what they produce. So I pay hourly, and I have a tracking spreadsheet that I give to my team. They clock in every day, they clock out, they track their hours, they track what they do. I get updates every day through Facebook. Daily updates, weekly updates, monthly updates. So yeah, I mean, it's awesome having VAs. You can get them to pretty much do whatever you want. Do you find a lot of replens on eBay? Tons. We have I think we're approaching 4,000 replens that we have on our list now. So, and I'm just a little fish. There's got to be people out there that have like 50,000 replens. Appreciate you, Joji. Yeah, you inspired me, man. You're going to be the reason I read that book on the flight. Yeah, I'm not really running into too many cash flow issues now. It's just when you scale, I guess, when you try to scale, I'm not scaling rapidly, but I didn't want to scale in debt, right? I could leverage credit cards and pay myself, but I didn't want to go into debt. Like I scaled my business to 30K without going into zero debt. I pay off my cards every single month. So yeah, man, I definitely got to read that book, but yeah, I'm happy, man. And we growing, baby. Steven, you flip DVDs from eBay to Amazon. Why don't you just flip them directly from a wholesaler? Because you're not going to have the same margins. Most wholesale sellers are making about 15% at the end of the day. And like even less profit margins. Like a lot of them are making like 10, 12, 15% profit. I'm making double that, right? And I don't have to, I spend just as much time as them or as little as time, right? I have a whole team who does it all. So I sell a lot of discontinued stuff. Amazon's not on the listing. I don't have a lot of competitors, and that's essentially what I teach. Angela Black says, I doubt it was you, Steve, but I think that it's funny. I've been getting multiple offers like that at the same time. Your masterclass is coming out. Oh, man, the stampede is coming. Here's the thing, guys. There could be 1,000 people. We did have 426 people who joined a masterclass, but I've released enough training and coaching to know, unfortunately, I hate to say this, it's like you'll be lucky if 20 or 30% of people don't give up and quit after 2 days. Not because your content's bad. Like if you guys put out your own program and let's just say you're making freaking 50 grand, just the average person's busy with life, with family. There's a lot of stuff going on. The average person just has a hard time staying motivated, taking action, trusting a mentor or a coach. It's the same with personal trainers, right? I have a personal trainer, and my personal trainer tells me that long term, you'll be lucky if 5 or 10% of people are there in a year. So I think it's the same way. So even if I taught 10,000 people, you'd be lucky if, there's really a couple hundred hard hitting players, and still it wouldn't even put a dent. You can clone me, 20,000 times, and it wouldn't put a dent in, the eBay market. There's millions and millions and millions and millions of products on eBay. And if DVDs got saturated a bit, or CDs or board games, I would just move on to the next thing. So, and you can too. Once you learn in the masterclass what I teach with DVDs, books, CDs, video games, you can use it for any other category. You just have to learn the category. Yes, Joji. Yes, it does, my friend. Thanks to my buddy Alex. I can't take credit. How do you get this ding removed without invoice? I don't know, to be honest with you. I've gotten, like I said, I had those 3 inauthentic claims, and they all got removed instantly. I just hit appeal, and it didn't ask for a plan of action. Just I'll share if you guys follow me on Instagram, I'll share a story. There's a new thing that Amazon came out with where they're not requiring plan of actions from all sellers. They're just getting you to agree that you're not going to do it again, and then it just goes away. So my buddy sent me the article because I thought it was weird, and I helped out one of my friends. He had like 10 IP complaints. It got him down to 1. So we got 9 of them removed instantly. He had no idea that you could do this. So yeah, you guys can hit me up behind the scenes. I can talk about it more. Edith says, I'm the crazy lady from Instagram, LOL, with the DVD trade. Oh man, Edith, please hit me up again. I'm sorry I've been ignoring you, not purposefully, but with the launch of the masterclass and everything. I mean, I'm not even kidding. I've literally been a chicken with his head chopped off the last 2 weeks, executing, putting freaking my whole last year of knowledge into this masterclass. So please, if you can message me again, I still want to do that deal, and I'll give you access to the little trade offer that we had going on. So I appreciate that. You need to be a professional seller to get ungated in many different areas in order to do this. I don't know. I think you might have to be a professional seller, but regardless, become a professional seller. Why? Because if you're a merchant seller, you're not going to be eligible for the buy box as much. So yeah, you're going to get the buy box way more as a pro seller. And again, 80% of sales are coming through the buy box. So become a pro seller if you're serious about this. Sebastian says, I'd love to have you as a mentor. How do I make that happen? You could book a one-on-one coaching call with me. Right now, the rates are very inexpensive because I've just started it and I'm only having a couple students right now. But once I get busier, that rate's going to go up. So you can go to rakeandprofit.com/one-on-one. That's the number 1-on-1. And you can check that out, or you could just go into the description. I think it's in the description as well if you scroll down somewhere. How do you win the buy box as a new seller? Sell as an FBA seller. Price your item competitively based on what the buy box is or currently was, and keep good metrics. And that's going to be give you the best chance to get in the buy box. Joji says, I'm done. I've been trying so long to figure out how to get ungated in McCraw Hill. Well, there you go, man. Again, I can't take credit, but yeah, my boy who I brought on is killing it. And yeah, he's actually in my coaching program. I brought him on, and he was dropping some knowledge in the masterclass, man. So yeah, once you go to the books, go to the sourcing book section, Joji. Joji, let me know if you're able to get access to the masterclass. Send me a message behind the scenes if you can, maybe on Instagram at Rake and Profit. Let me know if you got in, and just go to the sourcing book section in the masterclass. And there should be a link. Yeah, I added a link for what product to purchase. And it's only a $3 product. So you just buy 10 of them. So thanks to Alex. How much would you say is needed to start to eBay to Amazon flips? I mean, you could start with $20, but the same with thrift stores. If you have $20 to invest, you're going to scale slowly. So as little or as much money as you want. You could use the masterclass to source 1 item a week, or you can use it to source 500 a week. I'm not buying 500 a week. I'm doing about 250 a week, but I'd recommend starting slow. Julie Andrews, I've been having trouble getting my ID verified, even with very standard US passport and credit card statements. Have other people run into this problem? A ton of people. I'm not going to lie to you. Amazon's super freaking annoying with certain things like getting ungated, setting up your account. Here's the thing. You have to make sure every little tiny detail is perfectly matched up, Julie, from everything you put in your account to all your documents. So just keep working through it. Trust me, my my prayers go out to you. Oh man, I've been helping a lot of people behind the scenes get ungated for free. I don't charge anything for it, but like with DVDs, some people could get ungated first try. I give you the exact items to buy, the document, how to mark up your invoice, everything. My buddy Brad, who's one of my coaching clients, got ungated first day. My buddy Jerry, who you might know if you've ever gone to the Connecticut thrifting meetup, he just messaged me today. This is what he said to me. Let me read the text. This is freaking hilarious. He goes, they finally approved me after the 8th time, FML. Thanks for helping me out, bro. And he sent me a screenshot saying, hello from Amazon. Thank you for your application to list in the DVD category. Your request has been approved, Jerry, after 8 times. This guy was hitting me up literally for the last 2 weeks, man. Like, this was his message the other day. Good morning, bro. Don't know what's going on, but they denied me again. Before I submitted it this last time, I noticed that they sent me an email last year telling me my account was put inactive because I wasn't using it, blah, 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 blah. So there's a lot of different reasons, but yeah, sometimes you just got to freaking keep applying to sell, keep applying to get ungated. I mean, it's super annoying, but it's a good thing too, because this is one of the reasons why for the next 5-10 years, at least, Amazon's going to be a great way to make money unless some crazy law changes or they go out of business, which I don't see happening. There's a barrier to entry, and you always want to get into a business where there's a barrier to entry. You never want to get into a business where it's so easy to sign up and anybody can sell it. And, you know, being gated and being kind of hard to sign up and different things like that, that's going to put more money in your pocket because you're going to have less competition. The average Joe, they're just going to quit. But Julie, you're not the average Joe. You're not the average Julie. You're going to keep trying if it takes 2 weeks or 3 weeks because you're not in it for the short term. You're in it to build a long-term income. You're in it to make $500 a month and then $1,000 a month and then maybe $1,500, $2,000 a month. Maybe you're like my mom, you just want to make an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month profit. You know, so let's think long-term, guys, but you got this. Just recently, a lot of brands I'm not able to get ungated simply just say your account does not qualify. Have you seen this in your account? I've seen it with Popular Textbook, but I haven't really seen that with a lot of other items. Like, what types of items, Victor, are you talking about? I'm curious. What's up, Marilyn? Sue says, is this mostly about sourcing books? No, you could source any category doing this as long as you get ungated. In the masterclass, I teach how to do it with DVDs. I teach how to do it with books. I teach how to do it with video games. But the thing is, once you learn how to do it with those categories, you can go into so many other categories. You can go into electronics easily. Most electronics are ungated. You can go into board games and toys easily. And yeah, there's just a lot of opportunity. It's not that hard. Once you learn in the masterclass how I'm doing it, and you know, you go through and you put together the systems, it's not rocket science. It's really not. It's just taken me a year to figure out. Should we become ungated in multiple areas? Michael's asking. Quickly at once or focus on a couple at a time? Michael, that's a good question. I would most likely just start with like a couple niches. And I mean, I can only speak from my experience, man. Like, I focus on 3 or 4 niches right now, like main niches. You know, it's toys, it's video games, it's books, and it's DVD, CDs, right? I go into some other ones, and there's some other sub niches that I go into, probably another 7 or 8. But not enough to sit here and, you know, brag about it, right? Joji says, got the course, found the link for the McGraw ungating, fingers crossed. Dude, Joji is all about taking action, baby. Joji's going to have to come out with a book instead of Profit First. It's going to be called Action First, because this dude is not stopping until he gets ungated in McGraw-Hill. I love it. All right, guys, that's awesome. Is this good for an Amazon newbie? So here's the thing. If you're brand new to selling on Amazon, you've never sold on Amazon before, it's definitely good, but there's a caveat. I would say start slow. This masterclass isn't going to teach you all the basics to Amazon. And the reason I don't put it in there is because I have a free 5-day workshop that shares how to do that. So I'm not going to charge people for something that's free online. But I put that in the masterclass too. It doesn't count towards the time. It's just, I put a link to my free 5-day workshop. So you could go in there and learn how to sign up, how to list, how to price, all that stuff. The main portion of the masterclass is how you source items from eBay and flip them to Amazon. How do you find the items? How do you calculate the profits? How do you use all the softwares? The mindset behind it all. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of little nuances. The good thing is, Sue, if you do get the masterclass, you have it for life. You get early bird access for only $97, which it is going up to $297 at midnight or whenever my developer wakes up. So maybe it's 6 in the morning, it ends, right? If he doesn't wake up in time, like I told him to, because I'll be sleeping. And then it's only going to go up in price, because when you have something that can make the other person that much money, like, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What if I came up to you and I said, I'm going to give you a virtual assistant, or I'm going to give you something, right? Like a magic ball or something. And that ball, I'm going to give it to you and it's going to make you $5,000 a month, right? What's that worth to you? How much would you pay for that? If I was to give you something and just magically it would make you that, what's that worth? I don't know, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Absolutely. Right. But I'm not charging that. I'm literally charging it for $97 because I'm not in the business of just making money selling programs and courses. Yeah, it's great to make money. If I could make money off of a course or a masterclass and make it a win-win and put my life's work into something for $97 and I can make some money and you can too, that's fantastic. But after a while, it's just ridiculous. I'm shortchanging myself. So right now it's launched. I guess you could call it in beta. And I'm really trying to get a crap ton of testimonials. I'm trying to get a lot of results because I know once I have 40, 50, 80, 100 testimonials, I'm going to be able to sell this for $500 to $1,000. And then I can make some real money off of it, which again, I'm not in the business of doing that, but hey, if I can help people make thousands every month, why shouldn't I get rewarded? I'm not ashamed of that. If anybody's ashamed of that, then I don't think they're actually doing it and they don't know their value. So for now, that's my whole goal. Get as many testimonials as possible. I want all you guys to hit me up behind the scenes and let me know when you're making money, because I'm going to ask you to come on a private video to get a testimonial. That's my motive. That's my goal. So then eventually I can make some real money from from coaching people. So yes, Sue, back to your question. You can start doing this as a new seller, but I would focus on used. I would start slow. I would start thrifting and going to garage sales and different things like that. Start slow, learn, because you're going to still make mistakes, but learn, scale slowly start to add products. And I'm telling you, 3, 6, 9, 12 months down the road, you can really scale this operation and even start hiring virtual assistants too. Angela, much love. I appreciate you. Time for sleep. Hey, hope the driving and everything has been smooth for you, Angela. So let me know, guys, in the comments, who here, put a 1 in the comments if you already joined the masterclass. Let me know. And put a 2 if you're on the fence and there's something holding you back. If you put a 2, let me know why as well. And put a 1 if you're already in the masterclass. I would love to help you guys. And I would love to, just answer questions for you guys, honestly, transparently, share with you my thoughts. Victor says, I just joined. Where's the link for the McGraw-Hill ungating? Victor, you're going to have to go under the sourcing section and then go under the book section and then scroll down under the resources and the next actions tab. There'll be a link there. Holy moly, we got a lot of people who joined. That's awesome. Joji joined the masterclass. Diamond Rose, welcome. Jib Jab. Liz, Michael. Where's Bonafide Hustler, man? He's in Austin, Texas. Alan, what's up, brother? Much love. I think it's the Alan that I know, right? Should we do the masterclass before we start anything? Monami, Alan, what do you mean by that? Before you start anything? If you can clarify what you mean by that, I just want to make sure I'm answering it. Sebastian says 2, only because I'm at work, waiting until I can get to the computer, because screw this tiny phone. Sebastian, man, no worries, brother. No worries, man. Tiny phones definitely don't make it easy. Julie says 2, maybe more like 1.5. I'm almost ready. Well, no pressure, guys. For me personally, over the last couple of years, I've probably spent, since 2020, I probably spent well over $30,000, $40,000 on coaching and master classes and courses and different things. So I don't just create them. I actually live it. I invest a lot. because time is valuable. I'm not the brightest bulb. I want to shortcut my learning, so on and so forth. But one of my things that I always think about before I buy something is, one, do I trust this person? Are they really trying to help me, or are they just trying to sell me something to make money? Two, are they actually doing this? Because in 2022, everything's changing so quickly, especially with Amazon. If the person's not actually doing it, then why are you going to listen to them, right? They might have some good advice, but I'm not going to listen to somebody to teach me how to do eBay to Amazon who's not really doing it, because in 6 months from now, or 6 months ago, it's a completely different game. And then three, are they actually getting results that I want, right? And is it something that I could actually do? So you got to answer those questions for yourself. Does this sound like something you could actually do? Do you actually trust the mentor who you're going to invest in? And also, are you actually going to do it? I don't recommend anybody investing money into anything if you're not going to use it, if you're not going to do it, or if you're not going to apply it as well. And also, I always like to look for a refund policy as well. I do have a 14-day money back policy. I have a strong feeling nobody's going to ask for their money back just because it's going to make them so much money, and they'd probably feel like a piece of what if they did. Plus, I'm going to offer some ongoing coaching for 2 to 3 months for everyone in the masterclass, which is worth thousands what I'm going to share. So I don't think anyone's going to refund, but I always look for a refund policy as well, because if a person doesn't offer a refund policy, like, do they actually believe in their content? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's digital and someone can steal it and pirate it, and you guys can go through it all and refund it. And, I'm not going to ask you why. It is what it is. So if you want to do that, you can do that. But that's one thing I always look for as well, because if the person doesn't stand behind their program, then I don't know. That's just me personally. Monami says, I've been following you on Instagram and you seem legit, so I bought the scanner. Now on to starting. Yeah, Monami. So if you've never sold on Amazon before, it's kind of a toss-up, right? I always recommend people start selling books, go through the free 5-day workshop, get some experience under your belt. But if this is something you really want to do, you can always grab the early bird pre-sale, put it on your shelf, let it collect a little dust, right? Because you have lifetime access. And then in 3 to 6 months, you can jump into this, because I know how overwhelming it is when you're new, having to learn everything. But really, that's your call, right? I would do what's the best fit for you, and I wouldn't feel any pressure, because down the road you could always get it. It would be at a higher price, but if you're making money, who cares, right? Kevin says, I'm guessing that we need a sales tax reseller number. So if you want to become sales tax exempt on eBay, depending on what state you live in, you're most likely going to have to get a reseller certificate. So just Google your state and reseller certificate. But yeah, it took me 2 weeks to get tax exempt, because I broke my number one rule of not making sure the information was correct on both of them. So I actually had an issue where I was putting my personal information instead of my business, and they declined me, and I was like, okay, I'm a dum-dum. So yeah, it's pretty quick. Sue says she's on the fence about joining the masterclass. I'm in Florida. Oh man, because our manufacturer's home was damaged by Hurricane Ian. I haven't been thinking of anything else lately. Well, Sue, if you want to send me a message behind the scenes, I might be able to help you out. I've actually been helping out quite a few people behind the scenes. I'm not going to share too much of it publicly, but for folks who were hurt by the hurricane and different things like that, send me a message behind the scenes, Sue, on Facebook, and I'll see what I can do to help you out, because yeah, it's terrible what happened. So just send me a message. Hustle Dime, Steve, can I add the Facebook to Amazon later at the same price? Yes, you can. When you go into the actual membership site, you're going to see the Facebook to Amazon method. It's just going to be restricted if you didn't invest in it. But yeah, you could always get it down the road. Monami says, I don't want to miss the deal. Yeah, there'll always be other deals out there. So again, don't feel pressure, especially when you're new. I always tell people when you're new, and obviously this doesn't help me in my favor, but again, I'm not in the business of just making as much money from people who don't need my help. Save your money. Like I even tell people when you're new, don't spend a ton of money on, equipment and scanners and softwares and all this stuff, because like, let's have you start making money first, and, making sure that this is actually a good fit for you, Amazon, and so on and so forth. But if your gut is saying go for it, then I'm not going to stop you. But I'm a big proponent of keeping expenses down in the beginning. So yes, Hustle Doms, 37. Absolutely. So cool, guys. I'm going to answer another couple questions because I am going to lose my voice. I've been on here for an hour and 45 minutes. Just to recap, everybody, tonight at midnight Pacific, as long as my developer wakes up, as I instructed him. So I guess 3 in the morning. Well, that would be, midnight Pacific, which would be 3 in the morning for me. The discount is going to go away. Right. It is going to go up to $297. That isn't just a tactic to get you to buy and then it's sitting at 97. My reputation means everything. So, I gave everybody a good week and a half to be able to get it at the special deal before, it's going to be gone. So if it's a good fit, if you like my content, if you feel good vibes about this, if you think this is something for you, if you want to give it a shot, again, there is a 14-day money back guarantee as well, because I stand behind it. And I know people are going to be crazy if they if they refund it, because they're going to miss out on a lot more content in the future as well. Plus, there's a lot of opportunities here, even to do it small, right? It's one thing I want to say. I'm doing 30 grand a month. A couple of my friends are doing 55 with this method. My other buddy's doing 100K a month. Who gives a damn what I'm doing? It's good to have a mentor who's ahead of you, but at the same time, you don't have to do 30K, right? I've taught some people who are doing 1,000 a month, 1,500 a month, 2,000 a month, bringing home 600 profit, 800 profit, $200 a month profit extra, right? I'm coaching one of my clients right now. She just wants to make an extra $300 a month. She can't leave the house. She has knee issues. She had surgery. And the masterclass teaches how you can do this without leaving the house. You never have, I could literally gain 400 pounds and never leave the house and do this method. Why? Buy everything on eBay, have it sourced, have it sent to my house. All I got to do is bring it inside. So maybe I have to leave the house because I got to go on my porch, bring it inside, unbox it all, put it in boxes, ship it out. And I don't even have to drive to UPS, because you can use Pirate Ship for $4 to pick up the box for you. So the other day I sent out $6,000 worth of profit from eBay to Amazon. And I put out a post on Instagram. There was 10 or 15 boxes. UPS came for $4 through Pirate Ship, picked it all up, and freaking, yeah. So if you guys have noticed that I put on a little weight, got a little chin fat now, got a little beer belly going on. It's because I haven't left the house in 3 months. Oh man, it's 5:22 now, listening from 3:30. Man, I got to get off the call now. Let's swap nil vivo, get to bed. Monami, thanks for staying on. I had to hop off to get my kid from school. I'm so glad you are still on. I'm going to get the deal price. Oh, well, thanks, Monami. And if anyone needs any help, join my Facebook community at rakeandprofit.com/community. We're almost up to 2,000 members. The community is really engaged, and this isn't one of these master classes where you just go in and then you're left alone. Join the master class, join the free Facebook group, ask questions, tag me. I'm encouraging it. My Amazon account health is 220. What's yours? Mine's 264. How many dings are you allowed before you get banned? Victor, it really, really depends. I have one of my really good friends. He doesn't do eBay to Amazon, but he does sell on Amazon from thrift stores. And he's actually a really popular YouTuber. I think he has over 40K subscribers. I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but his account has been in the yellow for the last 6 years. So I don't know exactly how many dings he's had, but I think a lot of it is just like Russian roulette. It's just like, does the algorithm take you out or does it not? So I wouldn't freak out too much, Victor, but I would make sure you start adding some volume to your account, start selling a lot of items to get your numbers up and get that score up, because you want to be at 260 or above. So yeah, I'm at 264. I don't know what anyone else is at. I'm in the green. So that's all that matters. But all right, guys, I'm going to roll because my throat is starting to kill me and I'm almost out of my tea. But I want to thank everybody we've had since the last time I looked. I don't know if anyone else has joined since the program. I don't have my software up, but a couple hours ago, we had over 426 people who joined the eBay to Amazon Masterclass, who purchased it at the $97 pre-sale early bird offer. I can promise you guys, I'm going to deliver 100 to 1,000x. It's out live right now. So anybody who joins, get access. Joji just joined. He's already in there freaking getting ungated with McGraw-Hill. Crazy son of a gun. I love it, man. That's my account health. My IPI is 574, just to be clear. Those are two different numbers. Amazon just came out with an account health score about a week ago. It hasn't hit everybody's account yet, though. But But yeah, guys, the price is going up tonight at midnight Pacific. It's going up to $297. That's what it'll be. I'm sure people are still going to be buying it because it's worth a lot more. But again, I wanted to help out my diehard fans and followers. And, you know, you guys are all welcome to reach out to me. It's not all about joining the masterclass. If you want help, if you need some help behind the scenes, feel free to DM me. My time is very limited. I am a very busy guy, but I always try to go into my DMs every day and answer questions and whatnot, or in the Facebook group. So with that being said, Joji already purchased. Dude, Joji, hit me up behind the scenes, man. I feel like we'd be friends. Is this going to up somewhere? What's up, Christina? Good to see you. I remember seeing you in the Book Flipper group. I don't know what you mean by is this going up somewhere. The replay is going to be available. The masterclass is going up in price at midnight. That's what I said. You could still buy it. It's not going anywhere. So no one has to feel pressured to get it. It's just going to go up. Janae says, I bought it. Can you accept my Facebook? Yes, I will go into Facebook now and accept everybody. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, guys. I really appreciate you all. I'm super grateful for everybody following. I'm super grateful to have been able to learn so much over the year and share it with you guys. And all I ask in return is once I make you a bunch of money, give me a testimonial, because that's my motive. I want your testimonials. All right, guys, much love. Christina, the masterclass, the first part is pre-recorded. That's 4 hours available today. And then on the 24th, you're going to get 2 hours of live training from me. And then over the next 2 to 3 months, you're going to get more live coaching from me. So I'm over delivering pretty much 100X, and that's the way I like it, baby. All right, everybody, much love. Check out the masterclass link below, rakeandprofit.com/E2A masterclass, closing at midnight. See you inside. All right, much love. Appreciate you. Bye.